to say we all knew the hours, I mean, I know in general discussion at each meeting, she always would talk about how hard she's working and how many hours she's working, but there was never reports at each meeting that said it's specifically, 80-hour work week.
But we were precluded from knowing that usually.
Well,
I mean,
my point is, I'm gonna make it clear, I didn't know, and I wouldn't speak for the board, we all knew she puts in a lot of hours. But a lot of what was presented is from May through June.
Right.
And then about a 4 to 6 week period. And when you're looking at averaging, I go back to,
Kelly, can I interject?
it just, there's information here that we're talking about that,
I think and again, we've all been presented with the same thing, and I've been over it a number of times. And what I keep coming back to and have to look at, and Nicole, I will say, did a fantastic job. She worked her tail off. She's gotten us to a position that I think is phenomenal. There is no doubt about that. And I would never say anything different than that.
I would agree
The
with
question
that.
that I have is, and this is what the auditor asked me, was, do you think that it was the intent of the board to pay this much money over this period of time? And my answer to that time and time again, and I've said it to Nicole and we'll say it to everyone, is no. I don't think if it had been presented to the board, whether it was the first check that was for, the amount was for, that the board would have said, whoa. So a prudent person in that position, in my opinion, would say, hold on. Let me at least make sure that the board is aware that if I'm working 8 hours a week, this is the check I'm gonna be getting, number one. Number two, having been in the position that she was in previously as the treasurer, knowing what the previous director's salary was, to realize that you are going to exceed that salary in a very short period of time, and the salaries that had been on discussion with the county and with the board, and in our budget that we had presented, would again bring me back to a prudent person should have stepped up and said something, asked the question. Whether it was to one of us on this board, myself, or other county officials, and that may have been done. I believe that there was some misguidance and or misunderstanding. I truly believe that. I don't believe it was done recklessly, intentfully, but I certainly think that there should have been, the questions should have been asked. And again, a prudent person in that position needs to be aware and make the board aware of those decisions and of those things. And I don't think that was done. That's my main concern. As far as the work she did and her work ethic and the hours that she put in, no question about it. She moved us leaps and bounds from where I think we were before. And I've only been here a short time. So that's where I stand on it. And I agree with Kelly in that at this point, I think a vote of no confidence is the only option that I feel that we can do. So, and I understand, I think.
No, I agree with what you said about, I agree with everything what you said except the no confidence vote. If you look at the body of work, she did that, but she also did this. And I think all the good things she did far outweigh misjudgment when it comes to this single issue.
Unfortunately, I can't agree that when you're dealing, if you're in your own private sector company, you can do what you want. But in the public sector, when you report to a board and you have those kind of funds that are going out, and you know the budget, because she knew the budget inside out, there's no question about that. I think that, that you have to bear the burden of that, of being upfront. I mean, if there was a question, ask the question. And I think there was time to ask that question. And again, I'm not sure whether she was misguided by who, whether it was county, whether it was, friends, family, I don't know, or just
Or her own misunderstanding.
Or her own misunderstanding, absolutely. So again, I don't think it was malicious or that she had the intent. I just think it was unfortunate. It's about the best word I can come up with, unfortunate.
So all of that outweighs all the good. I mean.
No, the good is there. I'm not gonna take that.
But no, but if we give her a vote of no confidence, we're saying, yeah, all the things you did great don't count because you made this one
So
mistake.
no confidence going forward.
Moving forward.
Moving forward.
Not
Moving
looking
forward,
back.
based on this principle that David just outlined.
Can it be reworded another way? Because,
It-
confidence, she did a fantastic job. The monies that were billed are,
I don't know how you
Way
say
out of
it,
line,
it's
but-
straightforward.
you don't think she did a wonderful job?
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I just got done saying I thought she did a good job
Well,
on what
that's
she
having
did.
confidence in her
I don't have confidence in her moving forward.
though. Okay.
I mean, that's what we're talking about here.
Right.
If we're not, we've already, I mean,
Just sounds
No,
bad. Sounds bad.
nobody's questioning that Nicole did not have the best interest of East Smyrna Beach at heart, the best interest of the city of tourism. But when you're a steward of public funds, you cannot hire family members with different names that end up being family members. You can't. But bill
I understand
retroactively
what
for
you're
massive
saying.
amounts of hours. When you're a director, in a director's salary position,
My-
there is no overtime.
My
You do-
question was just.
I know. But I mean,
Sounds
you're doing
like
90 hours a week and you're a
you didn't have
director,
any
you get paid
confidence in her.
your salary. It's no confidence moving forward.
Right. And, go ahead,
The only
Mr.
motion that would be legally required is to terminate her as the executive director. Whether, that's the issue for the board, however you arrive at that, depending upon your view.